Video one, it showed the different how to do sauces, how to thicken sauces. So I'm just going to kind of roll through the classification. So sauces are divided into two groups. Your mother sauce or the grand sauce, that's the big one. And then you have small or compound sauces. These are also referred to as derivatives. So derivative comes from the grand sauce. So Escoffier is one of the most famous French chefs in culinary. We still use a lot of his teaching and things that he added to the culinary realm in today, which is really cool. And he's the one who outlined the 5 different mother sauces. So essentially, these are your base. This is the basis of all the sauces. So the very first one, you have a bechamel. And a bechamel, the liquid component is going to be a dairy. So this is a milk with a white roux. So it is thickened with the roux and a milk. Veloute is going to be a stock. So we talked about stock in the beginning of this unit. And then you're going to use kind of a white or a blonde roux, so a lightly cooked roux. When you get into a brown, this is the brown stock with the deeper caramelized flavor and then a darker brown roux. Tomato sauce is typically going to involve tomatoes and things with tomatoes and generally stock combined in there as well. And then you have Hollandaise, and Hollandaise is an emulsion. We've talked about emulsions and emulsifications. So when you have things like eggs and butter and lemon, they don't like each other. You melt them and get them hot, and then that fat and that liquid they're going to separate. So an emulsion is essentially when you have emulsified these ingredients together. So emulsified is essentially a homogeneous, smooth product that you have. And so that Hollandaise, you may have had if you've ever had like an eggs Benedict. So I'll show you a picture of that. So the bechamel is going to be the white roux, or you can use a Berman in that one, and then you're going to have dairy. So that's the mother sauce. It's just kind of basic. It's just kind of plain. When you start to add other ingredients, and so you can add types of cheese, it's really common to add to the bechamel. So Alfredo sauce, which is the bechamel with maybe some garlic and then Parmesan cheese. That's how you get Alfredo. Mornay has a little bit of Gruyere cheese. Start adding cheddar, you get like the basis of macaroni and cheese. Start adding like jalapenos and white cheese. Start getting into queso. Sausage gravy is made with grease and a little bit of a darker roux, typically sausage grease there. But that would be a derivative of the mother sauce because the base of that gravy is milk or dairy. So veloute, that is also going to use a roux or a Berman, and you're going to be using a white stock, so that's kind of pale. So this would be like chicken gravy or mushroom sauce. Etouffee, utilized a lot in Creole cooking, would be a derivative off of veloute. So Espangole or brown, that's going to utilize the dark brown roux and the brown stock. So we're talking about like a beef gravy. Bordelaise and Lyonnaise are also examples of this. And so these are sauces that have particular herbs or particular seasonings or flavorings to them to make them not just a straight brown. A demi-glace, show you the picture here. So a demi-glace is a little bit thicker than a brown sauce. And so this is a brown sauce that is made by combining parts of the brown and then some veal stock, and then you reduce it to 50% of its starting volume. So it is, it's utilized a lot, sometimes kind of like as an au jus or of juice, like dipping sauce, like if you had for like a French dip sandwich or something like that. So brown sauce, demi-glace, they're kind of in the same little category. It's just nice and thick, and it's very flavorful. I think all of you all are familiar with the tomato sauce. And so these Creole or marinara or Portuguese, again, different herbs, different flavorings, different seasonings, but they're pretty much just some stock and tomato product. So here's a picture of the Hollandaise. So the Hollandaise is kind of thick and creamy and white, but it is not a veloute and it's not a bechamel. So it is made with eggs and butter and lemon. If you start adding things like tarragon, then you end up with like a Bernaise, which is pretty common. There's something else I can't remember, a Maltese. It's typically made with lemon, but you can start doing like other derivatives of it. My husband doesn't like lemon, and so we actually use like a blood orange to make the Hollandaise instead, and it's just a different flavoring agent, and it makes it really good.